In India's bustling marketplace, building a brand isn't luck, it's strategy. Some brands like Amul become household names, while others vanish. Why? It's not just the product or the founder. Think of business as chess. The customer is king, the market is the board, and your brand is your army. Winning means mastering your moves, coordinating every piece with purpose. Modern marketing gives you the playbook, the marketing mix. This mix is the recipe for brand success. Get it right, and you win the market. The 4 Ps, product, price, place, promotion, are your levers. Master them, and you unlock sustainable growth. Every iconic brand, from motorcycles to soft drinks, wins by perfecting these 4 elements. Let's break down each P not as theory, but as real strategies used by India's best brands. What are the 4 Ps? Let's meet them. Product more than an object. It's a bundle of benefits, a promise, an experience. Price, not just a number, but a signal of value and brand positioning. Place, how your product reaches the customer. Distribution is often your strongest mode. Promotion, more than ads. It's every way you communicate and persuade. Each P is a lever. Together, they're your toolkit for market success. Get the product right, or nothing else matters. Price shapes perception and profit. Place ensures your product is available when and where it matters. Promotion builds your brand's voice and connection. Master these, and you master the market. What is a product? Not just an object, but a layered promise. First, the core product, the real benefit, like the freedom and coolness of a Royal Enfield, not just transport. Next, the actual product, the tangible features, design, sound, brand name. These deliver the core benefit in a way customers can see and feel. Finally, the augmented product extras, like warranty, service, financing, and community. These layers build loyalty and set brands apart. For Indian consumers, after-sales service is nearly as important as product quality. Great brands know the sale starts at the showroom, not ends there. Every layer must reinforce the promise. That's how products become experiences. In a crowded Indian supermarket, packaging is your product's voice. You have 3 seconds to stand out. Packaging must tell your story instantly. Over 70% of purchase decisions happen at the shelf. Paperboat mastered this. Their nostalgic, unique packaging sold memories, not just juice. The carton's shape, feel, and design evoked childhood, setting them apart. Packaging let them charge a premium. Consumers bought the experience, not just the drink. Every detail, from font to stories on the pack, reinforced their brand. Packaging isn't a cost. It's a strategic asset. It builds brand equity and emotional connection right at the shelf. A brand is more than a logo. It's a promise of trust and consistency. In India, trust is everything. Brands like Tata Salt win not by being cheapest, but by being most trusted. Desh Ka Namak made Tata Salt part of the nation's fabric. The Tata name guarantees purity and quality, earning decades of loyalty. Some brands become the category Fevicol for glue, Bisleri for water. This isn't luck, it's relentless delivery on the brand promise. When your brand becomes a verb, you've won the market's mind. This trust is built over years of quality and communication. In a market full of choices, a trusted brand is a beacon. That's the power of brand identity. It simplifies decisions and builds unbreakable loyalty. No product, no matter how successful or innovative, is destined to live forever. Just like any living organism, a product goes through a natural life cycle of birth, growth, maturity, and eventual decline. This journey is known as the product life cycle, and it is a critical framework for any marketer. Understanding which stage your product is in is essential for making the right strategic decisions regarding investment, marketing, and innovation. The marketer's job is to skillfully manage this journey, maximizing profitability during the growth and maturity phases and preparing for the inevitable decline. Ignoring the signs of this life cycle can lead to catastrophic failure, as many once dominant brands have discovered. The classic ambassador car is a poignant Indian example of this life cycle in action. For decades, it was the undisputed king of Indian roads, a symbol of status and power. During its introduction and growth phases in the 1960s and 70s, it faced little competition and enjoyed immense popularity. It reached its peak in the 1980s, entering the maturity phase where sales were high, but growth started to slow down. However, as the Indian economy opened up in the 1990s, new, modern, and more fuel-efficient competitors entered the market. The ambassador failed to innovate or reinvent itself to match the evolving tastes of the Indian consumer. It clung to its old design and technology, slowly sliding into a long, painful decline until its production was eventually halted. A smart marketer, unlike the stewards of the ambassador brand in its later years, is always vigilant. They know that the strategies that work during the growth phase, such as heavy investment in advertising to build awareness, will not be effective during the maturity phase. In maturity, the focus shifts to defending market share against competitors, perhaps through product differentiation or sales promotions. They are constantly looking for signs that the market is shifting or that the product is entering the decline phase. This requires monitoring sales data, tracking competitor moves, and staying attuned to changes in consumer behavior and technology. The key is to be proactive, not reactive. The history of business is littered with the graves of products whose managers ignored the signs of their life cycle's end. Nokia, once the global king of mobile phones, failed to adapt to the smartphone revolution and saw its empire crumble. Blockbuster Video ignored the rise of streaming services and went from a global giant to bankrupt. A successful marketer understands that during the decline phase, tough decisions must be made. The options are to try and reinvent the product for a new market, what's called an extension strategy, harvest it by cutting costs to maximize remaining profit, or to gracefully discontinue it and focus resources on the next generation of products. Managing the product lifecycle is a continuous cycle of analysis, strategy, and foresight. Of all the 4 Ps in the marketing mix, price holds a unique and powerful position. While product, place, and promotion are all about creating value for the customer, price is the single element that captures that value for the business. It is the moment of truth where the company's efforts are translated directly into revenue. But to think of price as merely a number on a tag is to profoundly misunderstand its role. Price is never just a number. It is the loudest, clearest, and most immediate signal a brand sends to the market. It communicates your brand's intended position, its target audience, and its perceived quality more effectively than almost any advertisement could. It is a strategic statement of worth that sets the customer's expectations before they even experience the product. In the diverse Indian market, you can see this principle in action at its most extreme ends. Consider the stark contrast between a retailer like D-Mart and a luxury fashion house like Sabyasachi. D-Mart has constructed a multi-billion-dollar empire on a pricing strategy of everyday low cost, everyday low price. For their target customer, who is highly value-conscious and seeks to maximize savings on their household budget, a low price is a signal of smart shopping and accessibility. It builds trust by consistently delivering on the promise of value. The entire business model, from procurement to store operations, is engineered to support this low price signal. Any attempt to significantly raise prices would betray their core brand promise and alienate their loyal customer base. On the other end of the spectrum is a brand like Sabyasachi, where the product is not a functional good but a dream, a piece of art, and a powerful status symbol. For a bride-to-be investing in a wedding lehenga, a low price would be a terrifying signal. It would suggest poor craftsmanship, inferior materials, and a lack of exclusivity. The deliberately high price tag is an essential part of the product itself. It signals unparalleled artistry, heritage, and a level of luxury that justifies the expense. A Sabyasachi lehenga is not just a dress, it is an heirloom. A low price would shatter this perception instantly, destroying the brand equity that has been so carefully built over years. The high price is the gatekeeper of the brand's aspirational status. Therefore, setting a price is not a simple mathematical calculation of cost plus margin. It is a deeply strategic decision about brand identity. The price must be congruent with every other element of the marketing mix. Your advertising can talk about luxury, but if your price is low, the customer will believe the price, not the ad. Your packaging can look premium, but a bargain basement price will create a disconnect that confuses the consumer. Whether you are signaling everyday value like D-Mart or exclusive luxury like Sabyasachi, Your price must tell the same story as your product, your distribution channels, and your promotional campaigns. It is the anchor that holds your entire brand positioning in place. Our brains, despite our best intentions, are not the perfectly rational calculators we like to think they are. When it comes to making purchase decisions, we are profoundly influenced by cognitive biases and mental shortcuts. We are, in essence, psychologically predictable. Shrewd pricing strategists have understood this for a very long time and have developed techniques to leverage these biases to make prices seem more attractive than they actually are. This is the realm of psychological pricing, a subtle art of influencing perception without altering the fundamental value of the product. It is a powerful tool that nudges us towards a purchase by appealing to our subconscious rather than our logical mind. The most famous and enduring example of this is charm pricing, often known as the power of the number 9. For decades, the iconic Indian footwear brand Bata mastered this strategy. Walk into any of their stores and you would be greeted by a sea of prices ending in 99 paise, such as rupees 499 and 99 paise, or rupees 999 and 99 paise. Why does this work so effectively? The reason lies in a cognitive bias called the left digit effect. Our brains are conditioned to read from left to right, and we subconsciously anchor our perception of a price on the first digit we see. As a result, a price like rupees 499 and 99 paise feels psychologically and significantly cheaper than rupees 500. It feels like it belongs in the 400 rupee category, not the 500 rupee one, even though the actual difference is a negligible 1 paisa. This simple trick creates the perception of a bargain, a feeling that you are getting a better deal. It reframes the price from a round number, which can feel arbitrary and high, to a more calculated, seemingly discounted figure. The effect is so potent that it has become ubiquitous, not just in physical retail stores like Bata, but also across the landscape of modern e-commerce. You will see it everywhere, from the price of a smartphone on Amazon to a food delivery order on Zomato. It is a silent persuader that works by exploiting a universal quirk in human cognition, making the act of spending feel just a little bit less painful and a little more justifiable for the consumer. While it may seem like a minor detail, the cumulative effect of charm pricing can be substantial. It can increase conversion rates and drive sales volume without significantly impacting the revenue per unit. It demonstrates a crucial marketing lesson. The perception of value is often more important than the objective value itself. Understanding these hidden psychological triggers allows marketers to frame their prices in the most appealing way possible. It shows that pricing is not just about economics, it is deeply intertwined with human psychology. By mastering these nuances, brands can guide consumer choice in a way that feels natural and beneficial to the customer, all while serving their own commercial objectives. Beyond simple charm pricing, there is a more sophisticated level of psychological pricing that involves actively shaping the customer's decision-making framework. One of the most powerful strategies in this arsenal is known as decoy pricing. The core idea is to introduce a third, strategically priced option that is designed to make one of your other options look overwhelmingly more attractive. The decoy is an option that you never actually intend for the customer to choose. Its sole purpose is to exist as a point of comparison, steering the customer towards the purchase you wanted them to make all along. It works by exploiting our tendency to make decisions based on relative value rather than absolute value. Let's imagine a classic scenario at a cinema food counter. You are presented with two options for popcorn, a small size for rupees 100 and a large size for rupees 200. For many customers, this is a difficult choice. The large might seem too expensive, a 100% price jump for more popcorn. The customer hesitates, weighing the options. Now the cinema introduces a third option, a medium popcorn for rupees 180. Suddenly, the decision becomes incredibly easy. The medium at rupees 180 seems like a terrible deal when you can get the large for just 20 rupees more. The large popcorn, which previously seemed expensive, now looks like an absolute bargain. The customer immediately chooses the large, feeling smart about their choice. In this example, the medium popcorn was the decoy. It was asymmetrically dominated by the large option and was never designed to be the popular choice. Its job was to change the context of the decision. Without it, the customer was comparing small to large, rupees 100 versus rupees 200. With the decoy present, the customer's primary comparison shifts to medium versus large, rupees 180 versus rupees 200. This new comparison makes the large option seem like a fantastic value proposition. Controlled experiments have shown that this strategy can increase sales of the higher-priced, higher-margin item by as much as 40%. It is a brilliant piece of commercial jujutsu, using the customer's own rationalization process to guide them. This strategy is not confined to popcorn, it is pervasive in the marketplace. You will find it in software subscription models, a basic plan, a pro plan, and a slightly less good than pro business plan, mobile phone data packages, and fast food meal combos. It is a powerful reminder that customers rarely have a pre-existing, absolute sense of what something should cost. Instead, we deduce value by comparing the options presented to us. A savvy marketer does not just present options, they architect the choice itself. By strategically introducing a decoy, they can make the desired option feel not just like a purchase, but like a smart, high-value decision, increasing customer satisfaction and maximizing profitability at the same time. You have done it. You have engineered the perfect product, a true masterpiece of design and function. You have tested it, refined it, and you know customers will love it. You have also nailed the pricing, finding that sweet spot between value for the customer and profit for your company. Your promotional campaign is ready to go, a work of creative genius that will surely capture hearts and minds. But all of this effort, all this brilliance, will amount to absolutely nothing if your customer walks into their local shop and cannot find your product on the shelf. This is the crucial, often unglamorous reality of the third P place, or what marketers call distribution. And in India, it is arguably the single most complex, expensive, and formidable challenge in the entire marketing mix. Think about the sheer scale and diversity of India. A product might be manufactured in a factory in an industrial hub like Pune. An animated map of India would show a truck leaving this factory, easily traversing the national highways to deliver large shipments to major metropolitan cities like Delhi, Bengaluru, or Kolkata. So far, so good. But the journey has only just begun. To reach the true heart of India, that shipment must be broken down. The large truck unloads its cargo onto smaller vans, which then travel down state highways to district towns. There, the vans unload their goods onto even smaller vehicles, like auto rickshaws or tempos, which navigate the crowded lanes of a semi-urban market. Finally, a single crate from that original shipment might be carried on the back of a bicycle down a narrow, dusty lane to a tiny kirana store in a remote village. This final, arduous journey is known as the last mile, and conquering it is the holy grail of Indian distribution. This logistical puzzle is why the distribution networks of established giants like Hindustan Unilever, ITC, and Coca-Cola are considered their most powerful and enduring competitive advantages. These networks are not just supply chains. They are deep, intricate moats of physical infrastructure that have been painstakingly built over many decades at the cost of billions of dollars. They have mastered the science of reaching the estimated 12 million kirana stores that form the backbone of Indian retail. For a new company to try and replicate this reach from scratch is a near impossible task. It requires immense capital, local knowledge, and an army of people on the ground. This is why access, not advertising, is often the biggest barrier to entry in the Indian FMCG market. Therefore, place is not just about logistics, it is about strategic presence. It is the science of ensuring your product is available in the right quantity, at the right time, in the right location. It is about understanding that availability itself is a form of marketing. When a customer sees your product consistently in their trusted local store, it builds familiarity and reinforces the brand's legitimacy. They think this brand must be good if it's available everywhere. Conversely, an empty shelf where your product should be is a lost sale and worse, an opportunity for a competitor to win over your customer. In the vast and demanding Indian marketplace, if you are not physically present, you are effectively invisible. So, how does a company navigate this complex terrain to get its product into the hands of the final consumer? Broadly speaking, there are two fundamental paths a product can take from the factory gate to the customer's shopping basket. Each path has its own distinct structure, advantages, and challenges. The choice of channel is a critical strategic decision that impacts cost, control, and the scale of market coverage. A marketer must carefully evaluate these options to build a distribution strategy that aligns perfectly with their product, price, and overall brand objectives. The first and most straightforward of these paths is the direct channel. In a direct distribution model, the brand owns and controls the entire journey of the product to the consumer. There are no intermediaries. Think of walking into an exclusive Lenskart store to buy a pair of glasses, or ordering a product directly from a brand's own website, like Mama Earth. In this setup, the company manages the storefront, the inventory, the sales staff, and the final transaction. The primary advantage of this model is complete control over the customer experience. The brand can ensure its products are displayed perfectly. Its staff are well trained to communicate the brand story, and it can gather valuable customer data directly. This direct relationship fosters stronger brand loyalty, but it often comes at the cost of limited reach and high initial investment in physical or digital infrastructure. The second, and far more common path for fast-moving consumer goods in India, is the indirect distribution model. This is the intricate chain of hands we spoke of earlier. This multi-layered system is essential for achieving the deep market penetration required to reach every corner of the country. The journey typically begins at the company's factory, from where the product is sent to a carrying and forwarding agent. This agent manages large warehouses and breaks down the factory shipments. From there, the goods move to regional distributors, who then sell them to local wholesalers. The wholesaler then sells to the final retailer, the neighborhood kirana store, who ultimately sells the product to the consumer. Each hand in this intricate chain plays a vital role in pushing the product further down the line, breaking bulk, and providing credit. However, this extended chain comes with its own set of trade-offs. While it provides incredible reach, the brand relinquishes a significant amount of control over the final presentation and sale of its product. Furthermore, each intermediary in the chain takes a margin or a cut for their services, which adds to the final cost of the product for the consumer. For brands like HUL or Parle, this indirect channel is the only way to ensure a product like a bar of soap or a packet of biscuits is available in a remote village in Rajasthan as readily as it is in a Mumbai supermarket. It is a complex, costly, but indispensable system for achieving true national scale. For decades, the battle for Indian retail was fought almost exclusively on the ground, within the physical chain of hands leading to the ubiquitous kirana store. The strength of a company was measured by the sheer number of physical outlets it could service. However, the last decade has witnessed a seismic shift in the landscape of place. The explosive growth of the internet and smartphone penetration has given rise to a powerful new distribution channel, e-commerce. This digital revolution has fundamentally altered how brands can reach their customers, creating both unprecedented opportunities and new complex challenges for marketers across the country. The science of access is no longer just about physical logistics, it is now also about digital visibility. The rise of online marketplaces like Amazon and Flipkart has been a game changer, especially for new and emerging brands. These platforms act as a great equalizer. A new direct-to-consumer brand, operating out of a single city, can now, in theory, reach a customer in the most remote corner of the country without investing billions in building a physical distribution network. This has dramatically lowered the barrier to entry for many. It allows brands to bypass the traditional chain of hands and establish a direct relationship with their customers, controlling their branding and pricing more effectively. This digital shelf space has democratized access, allowing innovative products to find an audience faster than ever before. However, this new digital frontier is not without its own complexities. The online world is an infinitely crowded shelf. While a physical store might stock a handful of shampoo brands, an online marketplace lists thousands. The challenge shifts from securing physical shelf space to achieving digital discoverability. Marketers must now master new skills like search engine optimization, online advertising, and marketplace algorithms to ensure their product appears on the first page of search results. Furthermore, the last mile challenge has not disappeared. it has simply transformed. The responsibility for final delivery now falls on e-commerce logistics partners, and the customer's experience with the delivery person becomes an extension of the brand's promise. The most successful brands today are those that embrace an omni-channel approach. They understand that the modern Indian consumer does not live in a purely physical or purely digital world. They fluidly move between the two. A customer might discover a product on Instagram, research its reviews on Amazon, try it out in a physical store at a mall, and finally purchase it using a quick commerce app like Blinkit or Zepto for instant delivery. The place is no longer a single location, but a seamless, integrated ecosystem of touchpoints. The new science of access requires brands to be present wherever their customer is, ensuring a consistent and convenient experience across kiranas and clicks, creating a truly unified retail journey. We now arrive at the fourth and final P of the marketing mix: promotion. This is the part of marketing that is most visible to the public, the one that people often mistake for the entire discipline. Promotion encompasses all the varied activities a company undertakes to communicate the value of its product and persuade its target audience to make a purchase. However, to think of it as just one thing, like a television advertisement, is to miss its true power and complexity. A far better analogy is to imagine promotion as a grand orchestra. Each communication tool, be it advertising, public relations, or sales promotions, is a different section of instruments. The marketer's role is that of a skilled conductor, ensuring that every instrument plays its part at the right time and in perfect harmony to create one single, powerful, and beautiful piece of music. The brand story. The primary goal of this orchestra of communication is to move the target customer through a journey of awareness, interest, desire, and finally, action. It is about telling a compelling story that not only informs, but also connects on an emotional level. Each promotional tool has a unique strength. Advertising is like the powerful string and brass section, capable of reaching a massive audience and building broad emotional themes. Sales promotions are the percussion, providing the sharp rhythmic beats that drive immediate action and create urgency. Public relations is the subtle woodwind section, adding layers of credibility, trust, and texture to the overall composition. A haphazard approach, where each section plays its own tune, results in a chaotic noise that confuses the customer. A masterful promotional strategy, however, blends these elements seamlessly into a cohesive and memorable brand message. In the Indian context, this orchestration is particularly vital. We are a nation of storytellers and story lovers. From the ancient epics of the Mahabharata and Ramayana to the modern-day blockbusters of Bollywood, stories are woven into the very fabric of our culture. Brands that succeed are those that understand this and transform their promotional activities from simple sales pitches into engaging narratives. They do not just list features and benefits. They create characters, evoke emotions, and build worlds that the consumer wants to be a part of. This narrative approach allows a brand to cut through the immense clutter of a media-saturated environment and forge a genuine, lasting connection with the audience. It is about making the brand a welcome part of the consumer's life, not an intrusive advertiser. Therefore, as we delve into the key instruments of the promotional mix, it is crucial to remember this principle of integration. The most successful campaigns are not defined by a single brilliant TV ad or a clever social media post. They are defined by the consistency and synergy of their message across all touchpoints. The story told in the advertisement must be the same story reinforced by the in-store discount and the same story echoed in the positive newspaper article. This integrated marketing communications approach ensures that no matter where the customer encounters the brand, they receive a clear, consistent, and compelling message. Let's now examine the most important instruments in this orchestra, starting with the most famous one: advertising. The most prominent instrument in the promotional orchestra is undoubtedly advertising. This is any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods, or services by an identified sponsor. In simpler terms, it is the art of paid-for, public storytelling. Its greatest strength lies in its ability to reach a massive audience at scale, building widespread awareness, shaping brand personality, and embedding a product into the cultural consciousness. In India, a country of over 1 billion people with incredible diversity, advertising has long been the primary vehicle for creating truly national brands. It is a testament to the power of a well-told story that the Indian advertising market is now worth over 1 lakh crore rupees. This colossal investment is not just spent on selling products, it is spent on creating memories. For decades, Indian advertising has done more than just drive sales. It has become a part of our shared cultural heritage. These stories have made us laugh, cry, and think, often becoming as famous as the products they were selling. Think of the iconic Cadbury ad from the 1990s, where a young woman breaks into a joyful, uninhibited dance on a cricket pitch. It did not just sell chocolate, it redefined the product, liberating it from being just for children and making it a symbol of spontaneous joy for adults. Or consider the Hamara Bajaj campaign, which used the humble scooter to stitch together a narrative of a modernizing, aspirational India, connecting with millions of middle-class families. These campaigns became national events, discussed and celebrated by everyone. The power of advertising lies in its ability to build a deep emotional connection over time. By consistently telling a story, a brand can associate itself with powerful human values like love, family, patriotism, or joy. The emotional Google reunion advertisement, which depicted 2 elderly friends separated by the 1947 partition finding each other through a simple Google search, is a masterclass in this. The ad barely focused on the product's features. Instead, it told a heart-wrenching story of friendship and hope, positioning Google not as a search engine, but as a facilitator of human connection. This emotional branding creates a powerful brand equity that makes consumers more loyal and less sensitive to price changes. Of course, the world of advertising is constantly evolving. While television, print, and radio were once the undisputed kings, the rise of digital platforms has opened up a new universe of possibility. Today, brands can tell their stories through YouTube videos, Instagram Reels, and targeted social media campaigns, allowing for more precise audience engagement and measurement. Yet the fundamental principle remains the same, regardless of the medium. Effective advertising is not about shouting the loudest. It is about telling the most compelling story, creating a narrative so powerful that it transcends the commercial transaction and makes the brand an unforgettable part of the consumer's world. While advertising builds long-term emotion and brand image, marketers often need a tool to generate immediate results. This is where the next instrument in our Orchestra, sales promotion, comes into play. These are short-term incentives designed to encourage a quicker or greater purchase of a particular product or service. If advertising is the gentle persuasion to love the brand, sales promotion is the direct, tactical nudge to buy it now. It is a crucial weapon in the marketer's arsenal, used to boost sales during lean periods, fight off aggressive competitors, encourage trial of a new product, or clear out old inventory. It works by creating a compelling, time-sensitive sense of value that is hard for a consumer to resist. In the price-sensitive Indian market, sales promotion tactics have been honed into a fine art. One of the most brilliant and effective examples is the shampoo sachet. For a consumer who is hesitant to spend 200 rupees on a large bottle of a new shampoo brand, the small 5 rupee sachet is a low-risk gateway. It dramatically lowers the barrier to trial, allowing the consumer to experience the product without a significant financial commitment. This single innovation was responsible for creating the massive pan-India shampoo market we see today. Other popular tactics include buy one, get one free offers on products like soap, and exchange offers on consumer durables, which encourage upgrades. Finally, we come to a promotional tool that operates on a different plane altogether: public relations, or PR. Unlike advertising, which is paid media, PR is the art of earning media coverage. It is about building goodwill with the public and managing the brand's reputation through credible, third-party endorsements. While advertising says, "We are a great company," PR works to get a respected journalist or industry expert to say, "They are a great company." This earned credibility is often far more powerful and persuasive than any paid advertisement because it is not perceived as a sales pitch. It is about building trust, which is the ultimate currency for any brand. A powerful example of PR in action is the way the Tata Group handled the aftermath of the tragic 26/11 terrorist attacks in Mumbai. The Taj Mahal Palace Hotel, a Tata property, was a primary target. In the wake of the crisis, the company did not run advertisements talking about its resilience. Instead, its actions spoke volumes. The Tata Group provided extensive relief and support not only to its affected employees, but to all victims, including the street vendors and railway staff outside the hotel. These compassionate actions generated headlines of respect and admiration across the globe. This is a global case study in corporate grace. That deep reservoir of goodwill and trust cannot be bought with advertising money. It must be earned through character and action. Throughout this journey, we have explored the four fundamental levers of the marketing mix: product, price, place, and promotion. We have dissected them, examined them through the lens of iconic Indian brands, and understood their individual power. However, the single most important lesson to take away is that these 4 Ps are not independent silos. They do not operate in isolation. Instead, they are deeply and inextricably interconnected, engaged in a constant dynamic dance. A change in one P inevitably sends ripples across all the others. The true genius of a great marketer lies not in mastering each P individually, but in blending them together into a harmonious and cohesive strategy that presents a single, unified face to the customer. Think of it like a master chef creating a signature dish. The ingredients, product, price, place, and promotion, must be in perfect balance. You cannot create a premium, high-quality product like a Sabyasachi lehenga and then sell it at a low price in a crowded, chaotic marketplace using loud, discount-focused advertisements. The entire mix would be discordant and confusing for the customer. The high-quality product demands a premium price to signal its value. This premium price necessitates an exclusive, luxurious retail environment. And this entire package must be communicated through sophisticated, brand-building promotions that speak of artistry and heritage, not bargains. Every element must reinforce the others. This interconnectedness is a two-way street. A decision in one area often dictates the possibilities in another. For instance, if you decide your strategy is to penetrate the deepest rural markets of India, this decision has immediate consequences. It means your product's packaging must be robust enough to withstand a complex supply chain. Your price point must be accessible to a rural consumer. And your promotional message must be simple, clear, and perhaps communicated through local media or community events rather than glossy magazines. The distribution strategy has effectively shaped the requirements for the other 3 Ps. This constant push and pull is the central challenge and creative task of marketing. Therefore, the marketing mix is not a checklist to be ticked off one by one. It is a strategic framework for holistic thinking. Before launching a product, a marketer must ask, how does our pricing strategy reflect our product's quality? How will our distribution channels affect our brand image? Does our advertising campaign align with the price point we have set? Answering these questions requires a 360-degree view of the brand and the market. It is this artful integration, this seamless blending of the 4 core elements that separates the fleeting successes from the brands that endure for generations, creating the perfect recipe for their specific target customer. As we conclude, it is vital to recognize that the marketing mix is not a static one-time formula that you can set and forget. The marketplace is a living, breathing entity, constantly changing and evolving. Consumer tastes shift, new technologies emerge, competitors launch new attacks, and economic conditions fluctuate. A marketing mix that was perfect yesterday might be obsolete tomorrow. The great brands, the ones that maintain their leadership over decades, are those that treat the 4 Ps not as a fixed doctrine, but as a dynamic dashboard. They are constantly monitoring the market and are not afraid to adjust the levers in response to new information and changing realities. Consider the dramatic impact of the internet and mobile technology. The P of place has been completely revolutionized, expanding from physical kiranas to digital marketplaces and quick commerce apps. This in turn has transformed promotion, with digital marketing and social media becoming central to storytelling. This technological shift has also enabled new product possibilities, such as software as a service and new price models, like subscriptions and freemium offerings. A marketer who failed to adapt their mix to this digital tsunami was left behind, much like the ambassador car was left behind by the wave of modern automotive engineering. Agility and the willingness to evolve are paramount. The 4Ps framework, therefore, provides you with the essential questions you must continually ask. Is our product still meeting the core needs of our customers, or have their needs evolved? Is our price still perceived as fair value in the face of new competition? Are we available in the places where our customers are now choosing to shop? Is our promotional story still resonating with the current cultural zeitgeist? This continuous cycle of questioning, listening, testing, and adapting is the true work of marketing. It is a journey of relentless optimization, seeking that ever-elusive perfect recipe for a market that never stands still. Ultimately, the 4Ps are more than just a theoretical model. They are your fundamental toolkit for creating value in the world. They are the levers you pull to connect a solution with a need, a story with an audience, a brand with a loyal community. By understanding the promise of your product, capturing its worth through price, ensuring its access through place, and telling its story through promotion, you hold the key to unlocking brand success. The grand chessboard of Indian business awaits, and you are now equipped with the core strategies to not just play the game, but to win it. The dance of the 4Ps is eternal, and the greatest marketers are those who never stop learning its steps.